Okay, we have successfully created a nice, cool-looking custom chart type. Now, there are problems with this. One of which is, for example, if I want to move this guy, I grab him and move him, pick him up and move him someplace. I'm not moving the right thing. So one of the things I want to do is I want to group these guys. Now, before I even start grouping, I want to show you this little guy here, this find and select guy. There's one of them called the selection pane. I'm going to leave the selection pane open. And what it's showing me that here are the objects that are on that chart. Chart number 1, which would be the first one we put down. And by the way, you can rename these guys. I think that's actually pretty cool because I'm going to call this one colors. That way I know which one I'm talking to. Chart number 2 was the actual numbers. Chart number 3 is actually the needle. By the way, you don't have to do these. I'm just saying it makes it a little easier. And oval is that little center piece. Okay, cool. Now it should be fairly obvious. If I grab the center piece and nudge him, like move him down a little bit, that he'll go away. Because this is showing the visual thing. Okay, cool. Now, one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to try to select them all. So I want to select like see how difficult it is to select. So why don't we do the selection over here? Isn't that pretty cool? And what I did is I held the control. I clicked on one of them, hold the control key down, and click on the other guys. That way I know I'm selecting all 3 of these guys all at once. And by the way, I probably should get rid of the border on this number guy. So let's go to a format chart area. I didn't even realize it had a line there. Okay, that make it a lot there. Cool, a lot much better. All right. So what I want to do is I want to grab these guys. Okay, now that you got them all selected, you have to move the cursor inside one of the items. Doesn't matter which one. Right click, and the option here is to group these guys. So grouping them together. All right, cool. Now what I want to grab and see, now it shows up as a group over here. Now when I'm going to grab this guy and move him around, everything moves with him. Yikes. Okay, that is a heck of a, unless you mess it up. You got to be careful when you grab. Just grab it one time. If you click it, just like on the other one, when you clicked on the data series, it gave them all, and you click on it the second time, it gave you the one. Well, it's the same way here. So you just got to be careful to click one time, and then move things. See, don't do what I just did. Do what I said. Click and move. All right. So that's grouping. Grouping is pretty doggone cool. Now there's another option that makes this even more better. And that is I can turn this into a custom chart type that I can use again for other things. And it's kind of sort of cool. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a picture of this, okay, to use as a background for a chart, okay? I know it sounds a little weird, but what I need is a picture. And the reason is when it comes time to creating a chart type, a template, it can only have one chart. Remember, there's 3 charts here, right? There's the color is a donut chart, the numbers is a donut chart, the needle is a pie chart. I can't have all 3 of those. All right, so what I need to do is temporarily make this needle disappear. Okay, now see this little cool little eyeball? Woohoo! All right, now all I'm doing is making it disappear so I can take a screenshot of the machine. Okay, so I'm just going to hit the print screen key on my keyboard. Okay, all right, now that I've hit the print screen key, I'm going to go into some other utility, probably something like Paint. Okay, and obviously you can use whatever the heck you want. Paint is just something that's available everywhere. So I'm going to paste that thing, okay? And all I want to do is I want to go in there and crop out all the rest of the stuff. So I just grab the little crop tool. And again, I don't want you to spend too much time trying to do, cropping and graphical things. This is, of course, in Microsoft Excel. Okay, so I'm done. And I actually want you to perform the crop. All right, I've cropped it. All right, and I'm not going to spend too much time making this thing. Okay, maybe I will. Oh, shave just a tiny, tiny piece off over here. Okay, that's good. All right, let's say that's good enough. Whew. All right. So now I'm going to hit save, and I'm going to just put this in my picture library. I'm going to call it, I don't know, gauge background. Okay, so now I have an image in there. All right. So now I'm going to build me another chart. By the way, I'm going to go ahead and put this guy back, this visibility back. Okay, cool. Now, this next chart, I'm just going to build right over here. All I basically need is just this one guy. I just need this needle guy. So I'm just going to go here and say copy. I'm going to use the keyboard. And then just boot. And then just do a paste. And so there is my needle. Okay, that's the only thing I need. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in there and change the background of this guy. So remember how we went in there and we changed the background to make it transparent? So that's what we're going to do here. Except one of the options is this picture. Picture or text fill. So I want to say I want to be a picture, but I don't want to, you know, I don't want texture like that. That looks stupid. So I'm going to say from a file, where, right here, hit the button, and then we are going to have to tweak the size of this thing. Okay, I'll admit that the size of this thing has to be. Whoop! I'm sorry, that's not what I meant to do. See how we have the plot area? Okay, so I need to make the plot area smaller so that the needle will change in size, but not the background. Okay. Now this sounds a little weird because I'm just, and once again, if I hold the shift key down, I can make this thing kind of go. Come on, behave. Here, boy. Come on. I wish there was a cool little keyboard way of moving these things around. All right, come on. All right, this is painful. Getting this thing lined up exactly right. Okay, let's say that's good enough for government work. So what I've done now is I've got the same thing going on. In fact, I've got the same data going on. Remember? If I go here and put in 25 or whatever, both of them moved, okay? Like they're supposed to. I don't have this thing sized correctly. Oh, not even close. Probably should make him, well, nudge him over a little bit. I just can't seem to get the nudge him part. Okay, I'm not going to spend too much time trying to get this thing to exactly line up. Well, maybe I am. Okay, I tell you what, that's good enough. All right, the bottom line is you have to change the size of the plot area inside the chart. That's the bottom line. And once you get the plot area exactly the way you want it, then you can resize this thing and it'll scale with it, so to speak. Okay? So as long as you got the plot area sized correctly, and I clearly don't. Okay, this guy is way too tall. He needs to be scrunched down a little bit. Okay, that's good enough. Again, I don't want to spend too much time on it. Now I've got this thing scrunched down to just having one chart. And so, I'm going to click on my chart. Oh, I see what happened. It accidentally got expanded. That was when I was fiddling with it. Let me fix that. Oh, come on. That was probably it right there. Doggone it. Yay, I think we're there. Okay, whatever. That's close enough. Now that you got the chart working, you can do right click, and one of the things you can do is you can save this guy as a template. Now, in the 2013 and 2016 version, if you right click, there's a thing that actually says save as template. Over here in this guy, there's actually one that says a button up here that says save as template. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to hit save as template, and I'm going to call this on my speedometer. Okay, so I've created. Now I'm just going to go to another spreadsheet someplace. I guess I do need a little bit of data. I'm going to grab this piece, okay? I'm just going to grab this so we have some more data to play with. So there's my data. I'm going to go back. So, all right, here we go. So I want to go here and I want to add a new custom chart type. So I select the 3 pieces of data that I need, and I say Insert. I want a chart, and I want a different chart. I want something that's not on the list. I want it in the template. Click on Template. Click here, hit the button, and of course, other than the fact that it decides to I don't know why it always makes these things 3 by 5. That always is a little confusing to me. And I can't figure out a way to tell it not to be 3 by 5. Okay, cool. Now let's make sure this thing works. So let's put in a 0. Doing. Other than the fact my needle is not centered, we're doing pretty good. Okay, now this template thing works pretty good because now it's just a regular chart, just like any other chart. I can go in here and I can go in and say, you know, in the layout part, I can go in and add a chart title. You know, I want to put the chart title at the bottom. Where on earth did I go to? You know, I put legends. I can put all sorts of cool stuff. Where is the thing that shows where those things are? I guess it's there. Vertical alignment. Yeah, I want the bottom centered. Okay, there we go. And so my chart title, I can, you know, just do everything like I normally would for any other chart. Okay, I know this was tedious, and I know there was an awful lot of things in here to learn. But it's all about how to make dashboards. So we've made a custom data chart type that you can use in producing these cool little dashboards for your company, where you go in and you know, make a whole series of these guys, one right after the, you know, this one tells what the sales department is, this one tells what manufacturing is doing, all that kind of good stuff. Thank God we're at the end. So this is the end of the chapter, and the next time you'll see me would be studying for the final exam. All right, see you guys again at the next video.